Ah, it is amazing. It is amazing what we can do when we sing and start Black History Month. It is February, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Well, I got an exciting guest coming up. And then, of course, we're getting geared up for the Super Bowl and beyond. It is another edition of what? Interludes Extra Talk on Tuesdays. And like I said, I am so grateful to be here. I'm Val the Voice Johnson, and we are getting ready to get going as we are. And I'm telling you, man, I'm excited to be here, you know, and then also, what else I got going on? There's a lot going on. And I have to talk, we're going to talk Grammys and Hollywood. We're just going to be all up and through Hollywood. I'm loving that. I love that. All right, guys, here we go. And let us know that you're in the chat. Let's go. Is Val the Voice Johnson ready to go with you with another edition of Talk on Tuesdays. It's me and Coach Tony, and I got to tell you guys, we are excited about tonight's episode. And definitely, guys, join us over on Patreon. It's called Find Your Voice. Join our community on Patreon today. And that's at patreon.com/interludes. And then, of course, your girl here has stepped into authorship. That's right. Like my queen, Michelle Obama. I'm writing a book that won a Grammy, by the way, this past Sunday. But yes, a DJ saved my life. I've had some wonderful training and coaching from a very wonderful person. Her name is Monique Lisa. And so this is the new book, the new ebook that's releasing March 5th. Go ahead and hit the scan. You take your phone and you can scan the QR code and go ahead and a DJ saved my life. It is my own personal testimony and story of how the podcast and DJing, my love of music, helped save my life in a transitional period of, unfortunately, of loss and gaining some creative endeavors. Man, oh man, I'm so excited that you guys are here. My goodness, my goodness. So, yep, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Man, who is in the building today? And I'm talking virtual building. I thought I saw just before I went, I see Queen Lakeisha. How are you? Good to see you. Of course. And of course, Mr. Springer. Thank you so very much. He's one of the best moderators here on Clubhouse. Thank you so much for putting that information in the chat for me. If you're here, do like Lakeisha and Kevin and let me know that you're here. Man, oh man. Now, here's my question. I know we're 2 days out from it, but did anyone watch the Grammys? Did anyone check that out? Because I was watching the Grammys and I was thinking to myself, I thought Trevor Noah did an excellent job in hosting. I believe this is either his second or third year hosting. So he has been doing his thing. It's the 66th annual Grammy Awards. And I have to say, the award shows, sometimes they can be boring, but a lot of times they can be great. And that's what I'm very, very excited about. Let me go ahead and see what I have here. Oh my gosh. I was chatting a lot on the Facebook group. I guess you guys check that out with me going what I do. And yeah, there's Trevor doing his thing. I like to call it best hosting. Cracked some great jokes and all the rest of that. So that was always fun. But some of the big winners of the night, Taylor Swift, of course, her name keeps coming up. I have to tell you guys, Kingsley, Mr. Kingsley, and Mr. Marley, they have a great film that's coming out exactly 1 week and a day from that, One Love, and that's Bob Marley. It was fun that Trevor was going around to different tables and having wonderful conversations. So they were there to promote the movie. And that young man there in the green will be portraying who? Bob Marley. I saw the previews months ago and was like, I cannot wait for this film to come out. So obviously, One Love is going to come out on February 14th. Miley Cyrus released this song last year called Flowers. It ended up winning 2 Grammys on Sunday. She ended up performing, doing a really great job. Oh my gosh. And I have to say this, for the former Hannah Montana star, that's where I know her from. She's grown up out of in front of many of our eyes, but then I was thinking this was the first song that I really liked from her and that really resonated from her. Lionel Richie, of course, presenting Song of the Year to Billie Eilish. That came from one of the Barbie soundtrack. That's also up for Best Song for Oscar. So Billie might win again for the Oscar. We're not sure. And then, of course, Best New Artist, that is Victoria Monet. I've never heard of this young lady, but she said she's been independently pushing it since 2009. And so this was a big win for her. And so, there's a lot of, it was a jazz artist that won for last year, but there was a lot of other things that happened. Why am I forgetting his name right now? It should be in front of my face. Killer Mike won 3 awards, but unfortunately some things happened with him, and I wish I had the pictures to kind of show it, but he won all of his rap categories, but something happened before the awards and they ended up arresting him, which I thought was really bad. But the good thing is that things have been resolved. He's out of jail, but he unfortunately missed the rest of the award shows because there was kind of a pre-award show, and then there was the main awards that happened. And then here's Miley winning for the record of the year, which is really huge. Flowers. There was a whole thing about who is this? Celine Dion. She appeared on and presented the award to Album of the Year to Taylor Swift. She didn't really acknowledge her when she got the award. It was just a whole bunch of things. But I love these award shows because I don't know, it kind of highlights what people consider big and best. But I have to talk about another presenter that happened, but I'll do that with our guests. My goodness. But that was the 66th annual Grammy Awards. And I don't know if you guys got a chance to see it, but I checked it out, was having a good time and just laughing about everything. Well, not everything, but there were some great moments, very great moments. Joni Mitchell performed. We hadn't seen her in some years, and she had a very diverse band around her. And then also there were great tributes that happened. I believe it was Fantasia Barrino. They had Oprah Winfrey introducing her, and she did a wonderful tribute to Tina Turner. And then, of course, John Baptiste and Jimmy Jam. He was on earlier, and also Ann Nesby from Sounds of Blackness. With a great choir behind them. So, it's always tough to do memoriam of, acknowledging the musicians and music execs that they've lost over the year. But when you do it with class and you try to wrap it up with a lot of, good, solid performances, and Lennox from the Eurythmics performing with Wendy and Lisa, those names, former musicians with Prince and the Revolution. So it was really good to see all of these great performances. So I was just really touched by all that I saw. And like I said, I cover these things every year. And I know some people are like, we don't care about the awards, but I like them. It's fun to see what they're going to do and what people are wearing. I wish I was more into fashion because people were like, this person wore Valentino and this person wore Gucci. That's not my lane. I just want to hear the good music. My writing mentor, I have to let you guys know, for a DJ saved my life. I got introduced to her on a different app And then, of course, there is an entire community of creatives. One of the creatives that I got a chance to meet probably well over a year ago was this young lady who I'm about to bring up. I cannot say enough good, nice things about our guest on tonight. Many of the wonderful music guests, as well as our former NBA two-time person, that would be Terry Cummings. She has been kind of behind the scenes, helping and kind of giving me some great advice regarding this particular show. And then this is someone that has worked in Hollywood. And when I say worked, I mean well over 100 films and television shows. She's either done stunt coordinating, acting in the background, or doing stunts. Oh my gosh. And it's Black History Month. So I love talking to people who are living history, like giving great advice, letting people know if you want to get in this business, this is how you do it. This is how you go about it. This is how you act while you're on set. Don't draw too much attention to yourself. This is sage advice. And so when I speak of this person, and I asked her to come on the show, I said, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about all of the great things that you have done. Coach Tony, he is here. He's adjusting himself. I'm going to go ahead and bring him back up. But Tony is coming back. But we're going to be bringing on Miss April Weeden-White. Grand rising to you. Here she is. Wait, I have to bring her on. Here she is. Oh.
Hello. Hey, what's
Hello,
up?
April.
Hi there. Good evening. Good evening.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. Happy to be here with you. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Getting some love in the chat already from Linda.
Hey, Linda. Hi. I enjoyed you this morning on Clubhouse.
Oh my gosh. I did a lot of research on a lot of the stuff that you've done. I don't know where to begin. It's for me, when I think about working in Hollywood, a lot of things that come to my mind is, how do you protect yourself from getting sucked into whatever the crazy that happens? Like
Mhm.
when you started, like let's go there first. When you
Sure.
first started, what was the things that attracted you to working in Hollywood? Number one, what attracted you to working into
Oh,
Hollywood
I've been in
first?
the entertainment field since I was 3 years old. Purchased a car for my mother at the age of, I think it was 4. It was a Mattel toy commercial. And so this
Oh.
is something that I've been doing for a long time.
Hmm. So that means a parent was involved in
Yeah.
getting you involved at that time.
Oh, she
Wow.
put me in dance, ballet, jazz, modern, hip hop, and she was a Black History buff. Happy Black History Month, everybody. And so I just had the best of all worlds when it came to her. She was an educator. My mama, rest in peace, Thelma Wheaton. So she
Oh,
introduced me. And then plays and taking me to auditions, and she was just phenomenal.
yeah. And here's the thing. When you're a child, I guess when I think about uh, actors,
Mhm.
especially moms and actors, the mom and the daughter combos that come to mind is Kim Fields, Chip Hurd.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
actually worked at Chip Field's acting school, and that's where I caught the bug. LaFay Baker had come to speak, and I was like, I could do stunts. She was talking about stunts. I was like, I could do that. And then one thing just led to another. But Chip Field is amazing. Yes, that's a mother, Holly Robinson Pete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. These are the folks that come to my mind, and then of course, Brandy
Oh
Norwood
yes,
and her mom.
yes, yes.
Very protective.
Hmm.
You get your
Hmm.
kid involved to Hollywood, but then it's a matter of just being like this. Oh, let me protect you.
Hands on at all times. You're not going in that room. No, and if she goes, I'm going to.
Exactly.
Let's be clear.
So the in transition now, it sounds like it was at the genesis of everything. It sounds like it was dance, it was
Mhm.
doing some
Acting,
commercials, a little and acting,
singing.
but stunts, that's the thing. Where did that start?
Well, I was working on Presidio with Sean Connery. I was doing background work, and I was making like $3 to $5,000 a week back then. I was all about my business, and that's how I feel that this field is. It's all about business. And so I was doing background work. It was dark. It was late. The stunt man came up to me, Benny Moore, and he said, "Hey, you think maybe you want to do the stunt with us?" I said, "Sure." So he got me on. I sat in the Ferris wheel, and he said, "Don't worry. If the camera falls, it's okay. Don't worry about it." I was like, "Really? Okay. All right, cool. You gonna protect me? All right. I get paid. Cool." So we're up there on the Ferris wheel, and sure enough, while we look up, and the camera fell. So that was my introduction at first. 10 years, moving into the next decade, my photos set on several tables. So don't ever give up. It's set on like in people's offices for like 10 years, and no one called me to do stunts. And
Wow.
yeah, so that's how it kind of started, was with Benny Moore. And then I met William Washington, who was my ex-husband, rest in peace. He just passed away last year. I
Mhm.
met him, and I just stopped doing dancing, singing, acting, and everything, modeling, whatever, traveling. And he said, if you stick with one thing, just stick with one thing, you'll be a success at that. And everything else will follow. You'll be able to act, sing, dance, choreograph, do whatever it is that you want. And he trained me. I ride horses. I'm scuba certified. I know my career, I actually started as a stunt coordinator. He demanded that I start as a stunt coordinator. Now I understand why, because I'm stunt coordinator. But yeah, I owe him a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is Mr. Washington's who got you into doing stunts
Yes.
and a lot
Taught
of the
me
great.
everything.
Mhm. And I'm assuming with definitely doing stunts, you've got to stay in shape. Like how
Girl.
often, how much are you working out? How much were you working out
Well,
at that time?
every day, twice to four times a day in
Wow.
different categories. It wasn't just one thing. It could be rowing, it could be boating, it could be surfing, it could be whatever you have to know, learning about cars. I have an extensive driving background. Lori and Rick Seaman taught me. Wally Crowder, who is my goddaddy, he taught me. And then William, of course, taught me, and several others. And I was on a driving team, and my name was Fire. Yes, that was my name.
Oh my gosh, fire! That's what I'm talking about.
I made a lot of money driving in commercials. It was amazing time, honey. Thank you, Jesus.
Well, I at one of your other now I was a fan of this particular show. I
Sure.
was a fan of this particular show, and I'm gonna go ahead and show this. But and I'm gonna bring on Tony in like
Okay.
1 minute now. But Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I
Wow.
didn't know I was looking at you when I was watching this show back when. But
It's a
yeah,
lot you don't know about me, Val. That's why I need to write the book. Monique Lisa's been helping me, but oh Lord Jesus. But yes, that's Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and I played Nikki, the Subway
Mhm,
Slayer. And James Marston, he
mhm,
still to this day keeps in touch with me. He's so nice. Not once
mhm,
did we feel bad grabbing each other, hurting each other, throwing each other, because we just had a good time. And it was just an amazing time. John Medlin was the stunt coordinator, and I
mhm,
was fighting Hong Kong style. And this guy that I was doing stunts with, no names mentioned, he kept grabbing
mhm.
me and doing it a little bit too hard. I said, "We're not in Hong." I said, "We're not in Hong Kong. We are in America. And if you don't stop, I'm calling my sensei, honey." He kept on. I called my sensei, and when he came, he said, "Oh, I'm sorry." I said, "Yeah, that's what I thought." And so anyway, you're the first to hear that story. So, so
Wow.
anyway, as we went on with the fight, I had to put his head through the glass. Ah, ha, ha. Yeah. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. And here's the thing, for one of the interviews that I remember seeing, you when stunts are done, it's one take. It's little takes. It shouldn't do a bunch of takes.
Anybody that I work with, everyone that I mentor, I tell
Mhm,
them, you don't need to keep doing it over and over again. You know what
mhm,
I'm saying? Do it sell out so hard. We call it selling out when you go hard. Sell out so hard that you only need one take, unless you're doing a master and you're doing like a couple of other, camera angles and stuff, and there's not a lot of cameras. But
Mhm.
yeah, one take is usually enough.
Oh my gosh. Well, I want to make sure I bring in my co-host here. I think he is ready. I don't know why he's got on shades. I don't know why we have
What's up,
shades on.
Tony?
I
Hey,
don't know
Hi.
I'm
what's
like,
going on.
How you
first of all, I'm like
doing?
Mark.
Hi, Coach.
I'm just chilling.
I see. You chilling hard. Like we say
Is
in
it
the hood, you chilling hard.
Hey, the funny part about it, April, I'm still stuck on fire. I got that Ohio player.
Fire. Oh, ooh, hey.
Boom, boom, boom. When you walk, you talk. See, that's what I'm talking. I'm still got that in my mind. Girl. Come on now.
Yeah, I was Fire. I was known as Fire on the driving team. We did
I'm
most
just
of the
glad we sit
commercials.
in your. I'm glad we see your. The way you talk, I got a position for you as assistant coach. I need some of that now.
We're gonna have to talk. I need to come to Tennessee, so we're gonna have to talk.
I'm telling you. What's
now
up, Valley
tell us
boys?
tell, tell us about her.
Oh, that's
Another
LaFay Baker.
LaFay
That's my
Baker.
mentor.
Mhm.
And she has an organization called Diamond in the Raw. And I would always go and speak for her. And she taught me a lot. She whispered little things in my ear that I needed to know as a lady. And she was a constant reminder of me being and staying a lady. And not only
Mhm.
that, I have utmost respect for her. The respect that I have for her is that she is inclusive, she includes others. And so that's where my respect comes in the story is like I said earlier, Chip Fields, she came to speak. And I'm like, I
Mhm.
could do stunts. And then we just became mentor and mentee. And here we are today.
Yeah, and coach, like such a lustrous career in stunts, and definitely just kind of that. I didn't know that her photo sat on desks for over
Oh,
10 years. Nobody was calling her for
never give
work.
up.
That's
Never
what it's
give
called
up.
staying under the radar.
That's what I do. That's what I do.
Yeah, so sometimes, Val, you ain't got to be the loudest one in the room to be heard.
That's right.
Hmm.
And when it's your turn, what's gonna happen? It's gonna be what?
It's
Your
gonna be
turn.
like a brother at smoking a cigarette at a gas station. Boom, boom. Hey, but
Recently,
what I get, the question I got leading off what Val asked a moment ago, which is amazing. We talked about, discussing about the going hard, the first take, and all that, and
Ooh,
looking at the part of the industry that you were in.
yes.
What do you think, or how do you feel that young Black African American men or women
Mhm.
haven't went down that road to like, or why haven't they glamorized being a stunt double? Because obviously, and the reason why I say that is me and Val was talking about the Eddie Murphy Christmas movie, right?
Oh
And
yeah.
they were talking to DC Young Fly. He said Eddie Murphy was only on the set for like 30 minutes for the whole movie. That's a double that people didn't know. He
Yes.
come on, does it take if it take Eddie 20 minutes, Eddie gone the rest of the day.
Yes.
So
Yes.
looking at that, why did you think that we as a people try to go in or get into the industry, in that direction?
I believe it's because we don't know about it. And I believe that it's not something that's talked about. You just know that there are stunt doubles. You know that there are stunt coordinators. You know that there are safety people. But if there's no one giving you an opportunity or no one telling you where to go to get that type of information, and if someone's not putting that spark, like a spark came to me, when I heard it at acting school, I'm like, wow, what? You make how much? You do? Oh, I could, yeah, let's do that. My acting career, yeah, that can wait for a minute.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's information. I think like a lot of college football players and soccer players, athletes, and that's your lane, Coach Tony. This is actually a profession that they can transition into. Like I mentor a young man named Christian Wise. He's in Las Vegas, Nevada, and he does all kind of football and baseball, all kind of stunts like that. Yeah, and he's an actor. I think it's
wow.
that you got to be in a position where someone's going to take you on and mentor you, but to all of like the college track, everybody that's like athletic, man, stunts is the way to go.
Wow.
It's a huge adrenaline rush. You're already coming off of an adrenaline rush,
Right.
and you can actually, it's something that you can actually do while you're in college, yeah. So,
Yeah, and that advice would to anyone that's interested in doing stunts, especially female. Like I feel like I think some women think, well, there aren't women that do stunts. It's probably just men. And
no.
at one point there was no Black people doing any stunts.
Right.
And they
Nothing
were
I
doing
saw.
paint downs where they would take someone, Caucasian or, another race and paint them down to be Black.
Right. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
And I know your boy, the Damon Wayans and his brothers, used to do that, just making skits of it
Hilarious.
all the time. But that is so, especially doing like the old Hollywood Bruce Lee type movies and things of that nature. Oh yeah.
And you know what? For me, I think education pushed me further in my career because I knew how to talk. I knew how to work in certain situations. I had already been exposed to every nationality you could possibly think of. So when I got in the industry, it wasn't just, I'm that Black girl. No, it was, she's educated. She speaks well. She knows what she's doing. Oh, there I am, barrel racing. Yes, that's my horse Freckles.
Barrel racing.
Oh, really?
I'm usually put $2 on.
Yeah, well, you should have. And and this is at the Bill. Is this one at the Bill Pickett rodeo? No, that's at a different rodeo. Yeah, I used to do the Bill Pickett rodeo every year.
Oh, you guys see, Val, we didn't tell us you were talented too.
It just keeps coming. It just keeps coming. But recently, she was honored last fall.
Oh, that's damn! Took the hat off on that one. That's nice.
Thank you.
So being on that situation, that alludes me to this, April. We've just came off that long wait. SGA actors, actresses there. So, and they went on strike based on AI generated, different things of that nature. You are a old school actress who also got an opportunity to bring it to where we are today.
Yes.
Looking at now, they're using AI so much to do movies, different things of that nature. Do you think that this contract that they were able to get over and make sure they kind of get the AI out of the way? Do you think, or the question would be, how long do you think that they're going to have the opportunity to move forward before they start using AI technologies?
It's already being used. It's already being used. It's been being used. Yeah. And just like with green, sorry to cut you off. Are you done?
Yeah.
Oh, with green screen, CGI and all the like, please, honey, we're going to use AI to our advantage. Those of us that know that this is where we're going, the technology we're going to and through. Look at mocap. Right. Huge. If you can get you some mocap jobs right now, come on. AI has been being used for years. They're going to need us in all those games, shoot 'em up, bang, bang, SWAT, cars driving and all like that. They still going to need us.
Yeah.
In my India.
And here's the thing.
I'm sorry.
I feel like no matter how big what do you call it? How great the technology is, it's never going to mimic well enough a human.
And you know what, Coach Tony, you're a coach. What you think you will be. When you step out on that court, that's what you're going to be, what you think. So that's how I feel about AI. We have wonderful Fran Drescher. She's not playing. She's a gangster. She's going to get what we want. And Duncan Crabtree, real talk. We have a new lawyer at the Screen Actors Guild. So we are good. Wow. That's how I feel. That's just April's opinion.
Oh, yeah. Because I'm telling you, it's amazing. And I think what Val was saying there as well, it's AI is everywhere. Music,
everywhere.
Right?
Everywhere.
Now in movies, and there's writing, financial. And I'm gonna tell you how bad this thing is. I ain't joking. Val and I was sitting down working on my bio. We put this together in Val about a little over an hour or something, Val.
Yeah.
And this AI wrote it amazing. I'm like, man, I need to.
Is that you? You said, is that me?
Yeah, I'm like, I need to put the AI in my passenger seat to start riding around with it or something.
Let's
Come
go.
on. Insane.
Now this is the fun thing with doing the research about all that April has done. I could pretty much think of any actress, any Hollywood actress, Black actress that I've loved, and she has possibly done stunts for them. One of my favorite films that I think about is the one with Gabrielle Union and LL Cool J.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I played a
Remember-
cop. I was a cop. I was the one that was on the horse riding.
What's that? Eva.
Deliver Us from Eva.
Oh, that was wild.
That was one of my favorites.
I was 5 months pregnant. My
You were
boobs
not.
barely fit. I was supposed to do the riding scene, but I turned it over to Minerva Adams because I couldn't do it. So the director was like, oh, and the stunt coordinator was like, we'll give you could be on the horse. So I was on the horse. I had to cut my boots open because I had started gaining weight. And I was 5 months pregnant, y'all. Yeah, I was 5.
Hey, that girl was working. She was working. Man.
I had no days off, Coach Tony. You hear me? None. Hey, here we go. Here we go now.
And so the picture to the right looks like you're I guess a cop, or what is the outfit that I'm looking at?
I was a marshal, cop. I
Mm-hmm.
was doing some stunt driving for Ben Scott.
Wow.
Justified. That was the name of that TV show.
Oh, Justified. I remember.
You remember that show?
I remember Justified.
You know what? Sometimes they take us in places that y'all don't want to go.
I'm telling you, man.
Because we was out in the boondocks. You hear me? Hear me clearly. Like
You
for
said
real, like for
boondocks.
real, okay?
For real mosquitoes.
Right.
Now here's a very good question from Linda. She's asking, have you ever experienced a near-death experience as a stunt woman?
Most definitely. Every stunt person does. If you're at the level that you're jumping off buildings, getting set on fire, crashing cars, fighting in bathrooms that have, porcelain. Yeah, most definitely. And the most death-defying thing that ever happened to me was in 2014 when I got injured and I fell 5 feet in the air flat on my face.
Ooh.
And another time was, I'm not going to tell everything because it's got to be in a book.
Right.
And then the other time, but I love you, Val, so I'm giving out little nuggets for you.
Hey, y'all better get y'all bags.
What'd you say, Coach?
I said they better get out that Halloween bag. They better get them bags. You put them nuggets in there.
Right. Okay. And Linda, I love you. I took a writing class with her, and so she was able to sit in when I took it. But anyway, the second time, Miss Linda, that I was injured, and I thank you, Jesus, it was the last. Well, before that last. Was on Eraser. All 4 chains were supposed to explode. I was doubling Vanessa Williams. All 4 chains did not explode. And that part. They brought in one of my best friends, Barbara Lee Belmonte. She doubles Halle Berry, looks just like her. So we used to trade off, stunt coordinating different people. And they brought her in and I pulled her to the side. I was like, girl, I'm finishing this film. And she was like, you are? And I told the coordinator, I said, I can do this. I took my cast off. I sewed that thing off and finished that film. I was like, I did not come this far in stunts, doubling Vanessa Williams. And I got this little bitty injury. To me, it was little bitty, even though 1,000-pound chains were hitting me in the head. Remember that scene when Vanessa Williams?
Yes.
Okay, well, those chains were hitting me in the head. And not the head, but my head. And and it was dark, and all I could see was lights and everything. I'm ooh, and finally, I just passed out. Hey, can I say this? The power of prayer.
Okay.
As a professional stunt person, is very. All jokes aside, prayer, because myself and James Caan's stunt double, we prayed before we did that stunt, and the other time I had Bishop George Dallas McKinney pray for me before I went on the set. So yeah. Woo!
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that part.
Linda's saying, oh wow, I'm so glad you got through that experience. You are my shero.
Well, That's amazing. You know, I was going to ask a question of that because, you know, you're looking at the dangerous part of being a stunt person. So, you know, we just coming off Baldwin, right, on the accident of the shooting
Oh
and
yeah.
all that.
Oh,
And I was going to ask you, you know, as you're doing these stunts, how often do you, as the person, say, hey, you know something? Let me check that tire on that car because I know the tire's supposed to blow out.
well,
Let
as
me
a
make
stunt
sure, you
coordinator,
know.
I check everything. I
Good.
Okay.
check everything.
Good.
And then there's usually a crew. You have a pit crew, you have a crew, and then your stunt performers, you know them. And after a while, you start hiring the same people because they know you, you know them, you know their talent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was really thrown aback when that happened to Alec.
Oh,
I
that
was
was,
working on uh Mark Wahlberg's film
Okay.
in Las Vegas, and it started snowing. But when
Wow.
we got our weapons, I played a SWAT officer. And when we got our weapons, guess what it said on the side of the armory box?
was that?
Be
Rust.
careful. Rust.
Alec Baldwin film.
That was those were the weapons that were supposed to go to. Oh boy.
So I had an AK-47, I had a Magnum, and a 45 that I had to work with that day. And
Here's the.
I'm very safe, y'all. Whenever I have my sets, I have safety meetings.
Oh, wonder. Oh,
Sure.
that's good. That's good. And really, and very quickly, let me jump in here real quick.
Mhm.
Has there ever been that stunt where you said no?
Oh
That
yes, most
no, I'm
definitely.
not doing it.
I thought it was going to end my career. I was brand new in the
Mhm.
industry, y'all. I had to take a deep breath on that one. And I
Yeah.
just knew that my career was going to go nowhere but to
Okay.
God.
Mhm.
Regina King, I was stunt doubling her. We were friends. And I was
Oh.
stunt doubling her. And then I was also doubling Lynn Whitfield. You know what film that was? Come on, bow the voice. You know what film that was?
Probably was. It's a thin line between love and hate.
Yes. Okay. So I was
Wow.
working on that. And it was the pool scene
Wow.
where she gets out the window. Well, I did the part that goes out the window, but I heard the Holy Spirit say, don't do the stunt. I was like, huh? I was looking around. Don't, you'll die. I said, and I'm looking like this, like, what is happening right now?
Wow.
And I thought something, I was like, what is going I went to Regina. I had tears all down my face. I'm talking, my whole shirt was wet. I'm not exaggerating. I remember it like it was
Mhm.
yesterday because we were in Malibu filming. Honey, I got to her and I said, Regina, I'm so sorry. I can't. You know, it was real tears, of course. And
Mhm.
I didn't do it. And my career did this after that. Something just wasn't right. And I could do that stunt in my sleep.
Yeah,
Something
because
wasn't
when I think about that, that's kind of the climactic part of that whole film, because
Yeah,
that's when
yeah.
the
I've had the
when
opportunity to work with Lynn Whitfield, and I think that she should direct more. She's an amazing director.
Oh,
yeah
yeah. I
she
like
Oh,
definitely
this. Too.
she's the bomb. I
yeah she
love her.
I think she got a chance to do. I loved her in the series that came on OWN called Greenleaf, and
Yes,
I
of
think she
course.
got a chance to
Yeah,
do
Greenlee, we talked about
a
that.
couple of
Yes,
director
yes.
things for that. But
Mhm.
Tony, I'm Coach. You had another question
Oh,
for
go ahead,
Queen
No,
Coach.
I was
April.
gonna say, yeah, that's that. And then, like I said, remember we talked about it. My nephew's on a spinoff of the Greenleaf show that's going to be
Oh,
coming. So I got to let you know about that. That's going to be exciting. What I was going to just say was an extension of what you were already talking about, April. When you're looking at that, do you think that the dangers of the stunt side of the business is what kind of pushes a lot of the actresses away? Because 'cause now we got a lot of prissy people, right? A lot of pretty prissy people and all that.
well,
So
I believe that anytime that there is a stunt involved as an actor to save production, I personally would prefer having a stunt double for my actors. As a producer, I produce because you have to shut production down. Look at I think someone just got injured in Africa recently. They had to shut production down.
Yeah.
wow.
I can't give
Mhm.
spoiler alerts. That's why I was like,
Can't.
woo.
No, no.
I just need you to do me one favor. I
Yes.
need for you to give me a stunt double or let me be the stunt double for the next person that win the Powerball. And so I get the real ticket and they just get, what I'm saying? I just double the stunt to get the ticket. But I promise, what I'm saying? I'm gonna always break you off.
I got you. I just want my 10%. Is that what they get now?
Right.
How much they get now? 20?
Yeah, about 20 right now. About 20 up
Okay,
to 20.
20.
Right,
Inflation.
20. Exactly. So, but
I have
I
a
go ahead, Val.
we have a question from Mark
Mark.
and Mark Lee. He's in the chat. He's like, "What do
Mark,
you
what's
think of
up, Mark?
indie films that try stunts? Some filmmakers are not ready for stunts. What do you think about that? Your thoughts on that?"
What do you think of indie films that try stunts?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes filmmakers are not ready for stunts.
Mm.
That's a loaded question because why are you doing a stunt film if you're not ready?
Uh, guys. Well, I can see one, April. So, have you seen that movie Gran Turismo?
No.
So I can see where Mark is going with that. When that movie, so that movie was a true movie about the African American from London who became the phenomenal um, um, indie rider. So
So okay. You
and that
hire
car flipped up and burned up and blew up and all this stuff like that. So I can see
you,
where he's going with that.
well, they can hire a stunt coordinator, somebody who knows what they're doing. Yeah, do that. I mentor several up and coming stunt coordinators.
Oh wow!
Right. And here's a question that's from Onstage VP. Oh, this is great. Tom Cruise does his own stunts.
Mhm.
Yep.
So the Holy Spirit isn't dropping him at any time, I guess. He could die. Lee Majors
I
played a
love it.
stuntman on The Fall Guy and starred as a stuntman. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I think that's amazing. You know, those guys were something special, like Prince. I've seen him, Prince perform. No one's like him. And it's like there are some stunt performers, there's no one like them that do their own, the actors that do their own stunts is what I'm trying to say. I think it's awesome that they've done their own stunts. However, make sure you're ready to do something like that because it ends up, unless you're going to put your own money in production, it ends up holding up production. That's just my opinion. But
Okay.
I don't think they make actors, with all respect, the way that they used to.
Right.
Michael Jai White, he's a perfect example of someone that can do some of his own stunts, especially the fighting stunts. You know what I'm saying? But he has common enough sense to know when he needs a stunt double. The indie thing, it's about community. There we go again, Val. It's about community and networking. So that's my answer. I hope I answered good.
No, you answered quickly. I want to go back to the HAP Awards that you won. You won a trailblazing award back in October of last year.
The
What did it
HAPA
mean?
Award.
I'm sorry, HAPA?
Uh-huh.
Okay. What did it mean to win this award and how were you voted on? How did they come to how did you come to their attention?
Well, they've been wanting to give me an honor for several years now. And a friend of mine is one of the producers, Amber Washington. And so I guess it was just the right time, seeing that William, my ex-husband, had passed away. They gave him one as well. And then my daughter was able to accept the award for her father. And so I think it was timing, but the HAPA Awards is absolutely amazing because it bridges the gap between Hollywood and Africa. So you have the opportunity to meet people from Africa and network. And it's just an amazing experience. And it was a 2-day event that I went to, but there were events the whole time. So it was an honor, and I'm just thankful and
Yeah.
grateful.
Yeah,
Wow.
and I know, Coach. I'm telling you, this is, and here, Mark is coming up with some really great questions.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, that's my
Mark,
man.
Can't
Isn't
wait
it?
to work with you, Mark.
what's a stunt that you wish that's on your wish list to do? Some people want to hang off planes, others want to do
Nice. Hang guys on and jump
hanging.
off a cliff in the water.
There's nothing I haven't done that I want to do. Right now, all I want to do is be thankful for the career that I've had, um, and pass down my wisdom and knowledge to those who are worthy of my information. And the reason why I say that is because, perfect example, I'm married to Bishop John White, and a lot of people don't know this, spoiler alert. I also manage him. I'm his manager.
Wow.
And he has 6 churches around the world. His missions field is Thailand. We feed the hungry daily. We have plans for veterans and the things that we do. We do a lot of counseling, and I manage him. And so yeah, life is a little different now, right now. What was the question, Mark?
Your answer, April, should have been, I want to hang out with Coach Tony, learn more about this show, the sports side of that house.
So
Your answer
silly.
should have been, that's
Yeah, I love this picture of you and the bishop. I got a chance to
oh
meet
yeah,
Thanks.
you
nice.
in person last year, and I think of all of the wonderful titles April has: stunt coordinator, stunt woman, actress, mentor. She's a first lady.
Philanthropist. I'm a
She's a
Right.
first lady,
philanthropist.
coach.
Hey Val, it's like my man that was on In Living Color. Hey, I still had time to make you. I got 15 jobs. Still had time to make you. You remember that?
I definitely remember that. Tomark, one of my favorite actors from The Last Dragon.
Yes.
Mark asked about that.
What did he say? What
Oh
did he
my gosh,
say?
he says Tomark could he do his own stunts or
He
could
did.
do his own stunts? I'm not sure
Yeah,
about
he
the
did.
question. You have to
He did.
re-ask that
Okay, he's
question,
trying to
Mark.
pull up that karate some as well.
Yeah, he did.
And here's the thing. The seems like stunt when you're doing stunts, like that has an expiration date, so then you can switch over to like doing, what do you call that, stunt coordinating,
Uh-huh.
because you're not
The way that
doing.
I'm trained old school. You start off as a stunt coordinator, mentoring under someone. You
Okay.
a
Okay.
mentee. So you don't
Okay.
just come in as a coordinator. No, you need to put some time in, at least 10 to 14 years under someone.
Okay.
That's just my advice,
Mm-hmm.
because then when it comes time to really coordinate, even though you've been coordinating and co-coordinating, boom, you're ready.
So
Right.
that was my next question that you took. So I was going to ask you, what's your advice
Mhm.
to young folks that are either one coming out of college or in the business trying to come up in the game? What's your advice on getting into the game at a particular place they want to be, whether it be the stunting or any place they want to be in the business? What's your advice to them?
Find places to train, be well versed in everything, anything physical, whatever that may be. I did a lot of history. I studied what Black actors are out there that I could stunt double. And so that's where my attention went. And I would focus on getting in touch with those stunt coordinators. But training to me is everything. And being a mentee under someone, cleaning stalls, I clean stalls. I was at the horse ranch doing things, at the martial arts studio, cleaning the studio and paying. Just being present and being around people that are doing that, and in
Right.
whatever city you're in, just finding out where the stunt people, where they're training, and be around them,
Okay.
because we become a family. We go to each other's birthday parties, we wear weddings, bridal showers. You become a family. And like you said, Val, there is a time that you move on. And when that time comes, prayerfully, you get 2 parts of the industry as a stunt performer, as a stunt person, you professional, which would be the stunt person, the stunt double, and then the coordinator. And then, like me, I've moved into producing.
Right. So
Right.
that becomes ultimate. Now you can make those decisions.
Right. And here's on stage VP. He says, "Congratulations, April, for your success."
Thank you.
As and going on, is there any, I guess, films or projects you're looking forward to producing going forward?
As I go forward, I would like them to be positive, uplifting, knowledgeable, you know, informational documentaries. Monique Lisa is going to do a documentary on me, her and Delano A. Johnson. And so I have
Mhm.
a cousin, Queen Elizabeth Weeden, that I desperately need to get down to Tennessee, Coach, and film her. So I have some other things too, but I just
Was
want
your
to
hand,
let it come out. Let it
were,
happen.
were you ever,
Mhm.
were you so, were you ever so busy, April, that you said, like you had a lot of projects, right? To say they are coming in left and right, you're trying to juggle was there one particular project, like they were asking Usher the other day on his music, was there one song or one thing he did that, he said, yeah, man, I had a chance to be in a group with P. Diddy and a couple of guys, man, I didn't think he was going to be good. Was there one particular actor or actress that maybe came to you for a role, whether you were too busy for the role or maybe didn't want to, that you went on and you said, man, you regret not being able to do it?
No, never.
Wow.
I was able to do them
Wow.
all because stunt coordinators knew me and they would let me leave early sometimes. And then I would replace myself with someone else and go on to another project. So yeah, no, I
Oh,
had it
okay.
figured out, Coach Tony.
I like that.
I want to make sure that before I wrap things up that I mention this woman's name, and I want to make sure that I get her name right.
Okay.
Tony Vaz.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
why in Black History Month, I'm thinking about this. You are living, you're legendary. So that's my opinion of you, but someone that has blazed a trail
Wow.
for stunt coordinating and stunt women is Tony Voss. What can you tell me about her?
She worked actually, there was no pay. She's one of the oldest stunt women in the industry. She also was one of the people instrumental for the NAACP award. She was creator of that. She was is a member of the NAACP, and she just opened so many doors just by her presence. Yeah.
All right. And just with you mentioning the NAACP awards, I'd like to play something really, really quickly. This was from 2021. Let me play it for you real
What you
quick.
Now,
doing,
tonight,
girl?
as we celebrate the best of us on this historical night, we have a remarkable woman to thank for it all. She moved to Los Angeles in the 50s and worked as an actress and stunt woman in over 50 films and TV projects, but was saddened by the quality of roles given to black actors. So she took action. She joined the NAACP's Hollywood branch and helped develop an idea for an award show that would feature us in the best way possible. She and others fought to change our image, and thus the NAACP Image Awards were born. We're honored to have her here in the house tonight. Please join me in thanking Tony Vaz. Thank you, Tony. Thank you very much.
And she got to talk to my man.
Yeah.
Oh, and I
I'm
love
crying
the
over
show with
here,
him and
Val.
his mama.
Val, you got me
I'm
crying.
Oh,
and
man.
the reason, and this is the reason why I think about things like this, and this is history, walking and living history. When you have someone that opens the door for um, black men and women in the industry of entertainment, you think of and try to remember and give honor to people like a Tony Voss who literally blazed the trail. We're talking the 1950s.
Can you
Yeah,
imagine what she had to go
Mhm.
through?
Oh
yeah.
my God.
She's
Woo.
still alive.
Exactly. Exactly. This is according to her website. She founded and created the NAACP Image Awards.
Yes.
And they had their first inaugural awards in August 13th, 1967. And in
Oh, wow.
2021, when that happened, after a 50-year long wait, and of what they tried to do, they finally gave her President Derek Johnson of the NAACP went ahead and they had her recognized and honored as the creator of the NAACP Image Awards at the 52nd annual anniversary in
Yes.
2021. And so
Yes.
That's
that's where
amazing.
that clip was fun. So, and that was from her website. So,
Yes. Yvette
yeah,
That's
Nicole
amazing.
Brown and Angela Bassett, and so many have done
yeah.
tributes to her. So thank
Mhm.
you,
And,
Val. I didn't know you were doing that.
and that's stuff, and that's the stuff
Got me
like that,
crying.
April. And that's the stuff right there that gets me so upset when you in these states with no mention of no name, but you in these states that want to strip us of history, our kids of history, you know, how do you get into music and the movies and things of that nature and really get deep in finding help when some of the people that you should know about, you don't? You know, some of the people that still here opening those doors, you have no idea who they are. And then they're mentioned in the school books in one sentence. And we're supposed to be like, oh, that's history. That's not. So that's why I always, like my 6-year-old granddaughter, little Skylar, you know, we try to, you know, keep her as close to the hip as possible and teach her about, you know, she go down to my family and, you know her great grandmother, grandmother, and so forth and so on. You know, we had a situation with a family reunion and she saw this picture and it went all the way back to my great grandmother, the last slave of the family. And she wanted to know who they were. And I pointed those out and I took a picture with her next to that picture. And the reason was as she gets older, I can transfer that picture. So now you, as an older adult down the road, will now have me, you, but you got your great grandmother's grandmother in this photo.
Oh, that
but
is
we
so
don't do
beautiful.
that.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful, Coach Tony.
And so I love that
Legacy,
Val just showed that.
legacy, right? Legacy.
Legacy.
Yeah. My
Legacy.
mom was real heavy into that. And
Yeah, my mother too. My mother too.
yeah,
My mother too.
that was the thing. And so for anyone that wants to get started in stunts, if they want to start working in background work, if they want to follow that dream and go, you know, I still want to work in Hollywood. I don't care about AI. I want to write something. I want to produce something.
Yeah, sure.
How would they go about doing, and what is that advice you would give them?
If you're in Los Angeles, there's the Array Film Crew, which I'm a member of, and you can join that. Also in any city like Houston, Los Angeles, Atlanta, you need to be with www.actorsaccess.com so you can get your auditions. There's other sites in each city, so that's some research and history that you're going to have to do on your own. Getting in film festivals is one of the best ways to get started. Film festivals, like if you want to, you want to be an actor, you want to be a composer, but negotiate and say, I want IMDb credits, Internet Movie Database credits, because when you get those IMDb credits, bam. But like I've worked for free, where I'll do a project when I was starting off. I say, and I put it in my contract, I want IMDb credit.
Yeah, because Tony, it's a list. I went.
It's a lot.
I saw it. I said,
you know, I used to have a show on Clubhouse, and I would teach sometimes on there and have guests come on and stuff like that. So, Coach, maybe we need to talk. And
well, I got something that I don't know. You, Val, may or may not know it. An opportunity for you to research. And another reason why you to get down here in Cashville, Tennessee, and that is they have already planned, and they are building right at $1 billion, it's either $1 billion or right at $800-900 million facility here just north of Nashville. They are planning on moving Hollywood to Nashville. Okay. So they're already clearing the land, and they are making a basically like they've got in Hollywood for start doing movies here out of the Tennessee, Kentucky, Georgia markets. And they are moving some of that to Middle Tennessee shortly. So another opportunity, as you say, and that's the things I try to talk to my son about, as me and you were talking about. He's in this industry, is research this stuff early on. That'd be the other piece of my advice. Research it early on, get in on the front end. Because if you get on the front end, you never know who you meet, and they may use you, like you said, to take the garbage out, sweep the floor up, and all of a sudden somebody don't show up and they say, you know, hey, Val, jump in that scene real quick for me. And have no idea that you could, you know, speak that direction or act it out, and the rest is history.
Yeah, and a lot of films are being shot in smaller markets. It's just less expensive.
Yes.
And don't forget, we done talked about all this stuff. And don't forget this lady right here still be on the sports side of it. Good pick on the NFL before we get up out of here. Super Bowl Sunday this weekend. Patrick Mahomes is going to be back up in there again, trying to get him another Super Bowl ring. Of course, with Taylor Swift, her man. I don't know which one is on the team, either Taylor on the team
They
or
both are.
Travis Kelce on the
They
team.
both
You know,
are.
they both are. Right. You just got to watch the game real careful to see which one going to come out at what quarter. You know, it could be Taylor at the first quarter.
We need to ask Kevin live right now while we're here.
Yeah.
Didn't April win? Didn't she guess one of the teams in the
I
Super
need to
Bowl?
know,
I feel
Kevin.
like she did.
I don't know, Spring. I need to know because she got to be able to beat me. And speaking of April, I got to send a super shout out to my nephew, Juwan Jennings, San Francisco 49ers.
Yes.
I love my home, but got to get him a Super Bowl ring. So shout out to that. Much fire on that. So I got as me. Oh, by the way, April, you didn't come on. So me and Val got our own thing going on because she got to send me a dinner card and vice versa. But I got the 49ers winning 34-31. And she got Kansas City winning 24-17. So we going to see about all that.
Kansas City, here we come.
Wow.
Hey, all I can tell you, April, is make sure you on that dinner train with Val.
Don't hate. Look, what color you got on? Look, what color?
Will it be red or will it be gold?
You know I was going to wear that red, but see, I had to floss out.
Don't tell my Rams, though. You know I was a Rams cheerleader, too, so shh.
Oh.
What? Okay, and Mark,
was that back in the Eric Dickerson days?
Mark Lee is predicting Kansas City is winning 31-24. Didn't I have
about right?
That sounds about right.
That sounds about right.
There you go with Valentine. I'm telling you, I don't want no handkerchiefs. I don't want no buckets of tears. None of that.
And here's another question, just on general principle. Here we go. What do we think about this gentleman performing the halftime show? What songs you think he's gonna do? I'm just curious. I'm curious.
Who do you think he's gonna bring out?
I think he might bring out Ludacris, Little John. I
told him JD.
Yeah, Jermaine Dupri.
And Taylor Swift.
Who? Taylor Swift. I don't think that's gonna happen.
You never know.
She gonna be there. She's flying back from Japan, April, 12 hours, and the United States government is already working on a special permit. It's never been done in history because they have a parameter that they shut the Super Bowl down in a mile parameter within inside of it. And I was telling Val, she gonna be up in there. They're going to drop her down in a helicopter so she can get over top of the perimeter. She walking in, and when she get up in that joint, us are going to be talking about Taylor, and she going to come up on the stage. They're going to do at least one song together. I ain't saying, I'm just saying.
Ursula says that if Ludacris and Little John come out, she's going to scream, and Kevin believes that Usher may bring out Justin Bieber. We don't know.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, and Mark is funny. He's saying Taylor is being stalked by some fans, so she can't be on stage. Oh, come on.
One thing I do know is Usher, if you want it beforehand and check it out, April, on this Friday at midnight, Usher drops his new album just in time for the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Yeah, so all those things were done on purpose, and so that that is what it is. Next Monday, Coach is back. I'm just gonna put that out there. It is the Pull Up Podcast. It's every Monday.
Your show, Coach.
Yeah,
oh man, I appreciate it. I tell them to pull up on. They got something to talk about. Pull up on, you know.
It's educational as well as informative, which is the same thing.
Yeah, it's been. We have fun with it, you know. And then you can see me looking cool like that. And my guest has been very great. I was so thankful to Coach Conzo Martin and then double back off with Merle Code. And they just dropped it. Matter of fact, April, I had a gentleman who never ever watched my shows, right? One of my peers in the basketball industry. And I sent it out and he wanted, because he's a big time Coach Martin fan. And he loved it. He says, man, just the conversation that you guys had was kind of like, he said, I got a chance to rewatch the Terry Cummins interview, and you and Zoe was like, y'all was in the neighborhood and was just really wonderful. And that's what I try to do. I try to sit down like
you, Coach. Just be you.
Hey, April, I don't know how to do. I don't know how to be nobody else but me. You ask that.
Nobody can be you but you.
Exactly. That DJ, hey,
Oh
you
my
better get
gosh.
that DJ Save My Life. Hey, come on now, man.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the book that's coming up and
See, that
going
was
to
a
be
good
on a full
segue. Like
release
that segue.
March 5th. I mean, it was a wonderful layup. We're just like the best layup. We could just pass the ball and just do what we're going to do. But definitely go ahead and scan the QR code and check it out. My writing mentor
Yay.
and April's writing mentor, Monique Lisa Johnson, definitely coached me through. And so a DJ saved my life. We'll be revealing the cover March 5th. And then it gets
Nice.
released. So I'm excited. So go ahead and support. We want to give a major kudos to Miss April Weeden-White.
Man, let me tell you,
Thank
y'all
y'all.
don't know. This is why you tune in, double up, like my boy Kale said, double up. This is why you tune in on the Pull Up Podcast on Monday, so we can set you up for, like I did with Val, dropped off with a nice alley-oop, so she can dunk it on Tuesday night for Interludes Talk on Tuesday with our guest, Miss April. She just fire. Don't.
We'll
Tell
be
you,
back.
love
We'll
the
be
show.
back. We'll be back next week talking Super Bowl and definitely with the pull up. And April
And I got
will
guests next week. I got another guest in the athletic side on our show on Interludes next week, April.
Who?
A young lady that's a young woman that's come up in the ranks, like you talking about, in the athletic side of the house, male dominated, who's now an associate director of athletics at a university, at American University.
What's her name?
Her name is Patty. So we're gonna be rocking and rolling with her.
Okay, wonderful. Well, April,
Yes.
Coach Tony, we'll see you guys on next week.
Thank
you
you,
all for
Val.
joining
Thank you,
us.
Coach.
We're out.
Peace.
Peace.